There's a sweeping firebrand across the United States today, reeling around the legislation christened by the media as red flag laws, and without a doubt, there is reason for concern. Depending on the side of the issue you find yourself, the concern is real. On the one side, however, the remedy proposed is desperately misplaced. There must be laws within a republic which are inviolate, and for nearly 250 years, so has been the case for our Constitution and its incorporated Bill of Rights. Our founding fathers went to war with England over the abuses by the king's government officials, which placed any who were at odds with authorities into prison without due process, without the defining of the crime for which they were charged, so an adequate defense could be rendered, and without the ability to face one's accusers in open court rather than from behind the cloak of secrecy, victims of innuendo and malice. Red flag laws violate the constitutional guarantees of due process and protection from warrantless searches and seizures. The Fourth and 13th Amendments demand every citizen shall be free from governmental duress within his own home. The argument calling on citizens to give up such a guarantee, maintain such a surrender of sacred rights, is for society's greater good. Those backing such legislative ardor claim the active shooters who have killed dozens of persons in this year alone in public places is such a horror. Law-abiding citizens should vacate their right of privacy so that any person can report to authorities about their family member or any other person they believe to be a threat, and then, acting solely on any unqualified report, government authorities will invade the private home of the person about which the report was made and seize his or her property. Remember, this is without the latter having committed any crime, not accused in any court, not examined by any qualified physician, yet his home can be violated by government officials acting under the color of law, seize private property, and quite possibly, as a result, persons could be seriously injured should he or his family resist such unconstitutional actions by authorities. The argument recently put forth from the El Paso tragedy was that the mother of the shooter had notified authorities in weeks prior, saying she feared her son may use his firearms to hurt others. This is where the capital offense, the capital R, was committed. First, allow me to say my heart breaks for this mother, who has lost a daughter to murder and witnessed her son jailed for numerous other murders. However, America in today's society has all but removed one very important word from our vocabulary. That word is responsibility, with a capital R. No matter what the situation, a young person overdosing on drugs, malcontents decrying a system of whatever source is unfair, demanding reparations for events in which they held no active part, take zero responsibility for their own actions. It's society's fault, or the system's fault, or any other contrived carrier of guilt for something which has been, in generations past, a matter of individual responsibility. Now, family members are demanding the authorities, the legal representatives of the government, must act to take away the guns from their loved one, when it was their responsibility to do so. If mommy thinks little Timmy is going to use his slingshot, okay, so I'm old, to shoot the birds from the tree or hit the neighbor's window, then she takes little Timmy's slingshot away from him. In wholesale fashion, through the latter decades of the 20th century, American parents relinquished their parental responsibilities to the schools. It was the teacher's responsibility to teach little Timmy about right and wrong, about being a good citizen or problem solving of any kind. But there was a broad line in the sand. The teachers must train up the child in the way he should go, without any mention of God, Jesus, or prayer. The Ten Commandments were not used, and certain words would soon be verboten, like under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. Then the R crime went from a misdemeanor to a low-grade felony, when since little Timmy was so fragile, and his parents had no control of him, yet the teachers were to train him up to be a good citizen. But you can't touch little Timmy. You cannot punish him by any means which might wound his sensitive inner person, while Timmy is trying to decide if he's a boy or a girl. For all of this, there is no responsibility accepted by the parents, nor by our society for letting it decompose from America's greatest generation to where we are today. Responsibility in the home is tightly related to another capital R crime, respect. For parents, for elders, for authority, it's all but a vapor, a mist which lay across the cesspool early in the morning and burns off in the heat of the day over the mass of stinking sludge which some may say is America's future. I fear America may have no future when we begin to take a strong axe blow to the very root of our great nation. Our Constitution is, excepting the Bible, perhaps the single wisest document ever drawn up by man. And I believe, just as the Bible is God's inspired word, God enabled the praying and God-fearing men of our Constitutional Convention to bring together an experiment in democracy which has stood the test of time. I'm Dr. Ross Riggs, and these are my thoughts.